Now, Excel is basically a mathematical program. You can do a lot of other things in addition to math, but at its foundation, that's what it is. And so you need to be sure that you know how to do some basic math things. So in this, I want to show you just what the basic math operations are in Excel. You have your 4 basic operations: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay, so the symbol for add is the plus sign. That should be obvious. To subtract, it's the minus sign. Now to multiply, you use the asterisk key or the star key, or on your keyboard it's probably Shift 8. It might be different on some others, but on mine it's Shift 8, but it's the star key. To divide, it's the slash key. So those are your 4 basic operations. Now what you want to do is, when you're entering formulas, you first start off with an equal sign. That's just the convention you do in Excel. So let's say here that I want to add something. I go here to cell E and I want to add 2 numbers. I start off by typing equals, and so I want to add, let's say, this number plus this number. You see what I have there, A3 plus A6. When I press return, I get the answer. If I hover over the answer, it shows me up here what the formula is. Okay, so that's adding. Subtracting equals, and let's say that minus that. Okay, and so 30 minus 25 is 5. Multiply. Let's multiply these bottom 2 numbers. Again, we start off by saying equals A11, and then the star or the asterisk, A12. Okay, and we get our answer. And then finally, let's divide. Let's say that we want to divide A3 by A4. So I'll say equals A3 slash for divided by, and then I click on A4. And there's my answer. Now those are the basic operations. Another important thing you need to keep in mind is the use of parentheses. Now in math you've learned about parentheses, but in Excel and calculations like that, they become really important because you have to be sure that you're grouping numbers correctly. If you don't, you'll get the wrong answers. They're logical wrong answers, but they're the wrong answers. Let's say I had this problem here. I want to take A1 and A2 and add them together, these 2 here, and I want to divide it by 3. Now, if I say equals A1 plus A2 divided by 3, I get 58. But I want you to see what's going on here. If you remember your order of operations from a long time back, you do division, multiplication and division before you do addition and subtraction. So what's happening here is this is taking A2, which is 42. Doing this is saying, what's A2 divided by 3? And then you add that to A1. But I don't want that. I want A1 and A2 combined. I want that total divided by 3. So what I have to do instead, I'm going to put it over here so you can see the difference in those 2. I say, I'm going to put parentheses, and I'm going to put A1 plus A2 inside parentheses. That means do this first. Now divide by 3. You see the difference. This is the answer I wanted, not this one. So you have to be sure that you're putting parentheses. Basically, you put parentheses around whatever numbers you want to group together. So let's take a more complicated one here. I want A8, A9, and A10. I want all that added up, and then I want to multiply that answer by the difference of A3 and A4. Difference is going to mean subtract. So here's what I have to do. Equals, okay, I want A8 plus A9 plus A10, close the parentheses, and I want to multiply, there's my asterisk, by the difference of A3 and A4, so I'm going to need more parentheses. Take A3 minus A4, and then hit the close parentheses, and there's my answer. Okay? So those are your basic operations. Now you notice I was not entering plain numbers in here. Like up here when it said add, and I said I want to add A3 and A6, I didn't just say equals 34 plus 27. I could do that, but look at what happens. If let's say I go back later and I decide, you know, that shouldn't be 34, that should be 84. If I do that, watch what's in E1 there. When I add those two, notice this answer now changed. I didn't have to change the formula, I just changed this one. If I change it back, there's what I get. You might have noticed that some of these others changed because they also referred to A3. Okay, so those are the keys. You want to use cell references instead of numbers. You want to use your 4 basic operations, add, subtract, multiply, divide, and you need to use parentheses properly. Your assignment is going to involve you being able to do all of these.